When it comes to navigating relationships with wisdom, respect, and self-control, there are certain principles a man should always keep in mind, especially when it comes to his interactions with women. Understanding these principles is essential, not just for the health of the relationship, but for one's own growth as well. The guiding philosophy here should be one of respect and personal integrity. When these qualities are at the core, the right way to conduct oneself often becomes clear. One of the first things a man should never do with a woman is lie to her, especially about his intentions. Honesty is a pillar of any stable relationship, and when a man communicates openly about what he seeks, whether it's companionship, friendship, or commitment, he avoids the emotional turmoil that arises from unmet expectations. Lies can often seem like a quick fix, but they erode the relationship's foundation, and they undermine trust. Over time, they don't only harm the other person, but they also weaken the integrity of the person lying. Deception can lead down a dark path where guilt and unease become constants, and this weakens one's character. Another action that should be avoided is making promises he cannot or does not intend to keep. Promises carry weight, and when they're broken, they cause significant disappointment. A man should understand that words have consequences and commitments should not be taken lightly. Broken promises also damage his own credibility and reputation, as they're a sign of inconsistency and unreliability. It's better to offer what he knows he can fulfill, even if it's less than what might seem ideal at the moment, than to overpromise and fall short. In the long run, this habit strengthens both his sense of integrity and the relationship itself. But disrespecting her boundaries is something a man should never do. A woman's personal space, physical, emotional, and mental, should be honored without question. To overstep these boundaries is to disregard her autonomy and self-respect, which is unacceptable. Relationships built on mutual respect require that both parties feel comfortable expressing what they're okay with and what they're not. Respecting these lines, even if they differ from one's own comfort zone, shows emotional maturity. This approach doesn't only build trust, but also creates a space where both individuals can be themselves without fear. It's equally vital never to undermine her value intentionally or unintentionally. Words and actions can be either empowering or diminishing, and it's essential to be mindful of the effect they have. Belittling someone or making them feel less than their worth, especially in a moment of frustration or anger, is both hurtful and destructive. Criticism should always be constructive and intended to uplift rather than tear down. Building someone up rather than tearing them down reflects a man's strength and shows respect for their inherent dignity. Another thing to avoid is comparing her to others, whether in private or public. Every individual is unique with their own strengths, weaknesses, and experiences. Comparison can create insecurity and resentment, leading to the feeling that they're constantly being measured against an invisible standard. Instead, a man should focus on her qualities, her individuality, and what makes the relationship meaningful. This respect for her individuality is essential for maintaining a healthy dynamic based on appreciation and respect rather than a competition. Raising one's voice or resorting to any form of intimidation is also something that should be avoided at all costs. Anger is natural and disagreements are inevitable, but losing control is neither productive nor respectful. When tempers flare, taking a moment to step back and approach the situation with calmness and empathy is always the better choice. An angry outburst might feel momentarily satisfying, but it only creates a rift and often causes lasting harm. By keeping calm, a man not only maintains his own peace, but also fosters an atmosphere where issues can be resolved rationally. Another action to avoid is controlling her decisions. A man should remember that every individual has the right to make choices that align with their values, dreams, and aspirations. Attempting to dictate what she should do or who she should become is not only disrespectful but counterproductive to the relationship. Supporting her decisions, even when they differ from his, strengthens the bond and builds mutual respect. A relationship is not a place for control, but for cooperation and encouragement. Encouraging her autonomy reflects a high level of respect and emotional maturity. Never disregard her opinions or belittle her thoughts. Every perspective has value, and to ignore or dismiss her input is to overlook her unique insights and experiences. Often, these insights can help a man see situations from a new angle, expanding his own understanding. Disregarding her thoughts doesn't only shut down meaningful dialogue, it also breeds resentment and can make her feel undervalued. A wise man seeks to understand rather than simply to be understood. Listening actively shows respect for her intelligence and individuality. It's crucial never to take her for granted, especially when she's been consistent in her care and support. Over time, people can sometimes start to overlook the efforts and kindnesses of those closest to them. A man should remember to acknowledge her contributions and express gratitude for the things she does. Taking someone for granted can lead to resentment and emotional distance. Small gestures of appreciation, whether it's a word of thanks or a moment of shared joy, help maintain the warmth and affection in the relationship. A man should avoid being passive or indifferent when issues arise. Relationships require active effort, and ignoring problems only causes them to fester. Avoiding a problem doesn't make it disappear, it often intensifies it. Showing initiative in addressing issues, no matter how uncomfortable, demonstrates that he values the relationship enough to work through its challenges. Passivity is often a sign of disinterest, and it can make the other person feel as though the relationship is not worth the effort. Engaging in toxic communication patterns, such as sarcasm, passive aggression, or silent treatment, should also be avoided. These behaviors do not address the issue, but instead create more misunderstandings and frustrations. Communication should be clear, honest, and respectful. Choosing constructive words, even during disagreements, is a reflection of one's self-respect, as well as respect for the other person. Toxicity in communication erodes trust and creates a dynamic where resentment can grow. It's important never to hold grudges or repeatedly bring up past mistakes. Forgiveness and moving forward are essential for a healthy relationship. Continuously reminding someone of their past errors shows a lack of compassion and makes it difficult for the relationship to evolve. People grow and change over time, and a man should focus on the present rather than clinging to past mistakes. Embracing forgiveness not only brings peace, but also strengthens the bond by allowing both individuals to grow and learn without fear of perpetual judgment. A man should avoid neglecting his own principles and values for the sake of pleasing or impressing. Authenticity is the cornerstone of a meaningful connection. Losing oneself in a relationship to fulfill another's expectations ultimately leads to resentment and a weakened sense of self. A man should always strive to stay true to his own values, standing firm in his integrity. When he's authentic and grounded, he creates a relationship that is based on mutual respect and genuine connection. By embodying these principles, a man not only enhances his interactions with women, but also strengthens his own character, building a life grounded in wisdom, respect, and integrity. A key part of maintaining integrity in any relationship is resisting the urge to manipulate situations to gain the upper hand. Manipulation can take subtle forms, such as guilt-tripping or withholding affection to get a desired outcome. While it may feel like it works in the short term, manipulation ultimately breeds mistrust and resentment. When someone feels that their emotions are being played with, they become guarded, and the relationship suffers. A man should cultivate honesty and transparency, expressing his needs openly instead of resorting to indirect tactics. This respect for another's autonomy also reflects self-respect and helps keep the relationship rooted in mutual trust. Another fundamental mistake to avoid is allowing insecurity to dictate behavior. It's natural to have moments of doubt, but letting that doubt turn into jealousy or possessiveness is counterproductive. A wise man understands that trust is the cornerstone of a meaningful connection, and without it, insecurity can poison the relationship. He should work on addressing his own insecurities internally rather than projecting them onto his partner. An emotionally secure person recognizes that each individual deserves freedom and space to be themselves without the constant need for reassurance. Embracing trust is not just a gift to the relationship, but a gift to one's own sense of peace and stability. One should never underestimate the importance of empathy. Ignoring her emotions or invalidating her experiences can create an emotional distance that's difficult to bridge. A man should strive to see situations from her perspective, even if he doesn't fully agree or understand. Empathy is not about simply agreeing, it's about acknowledging her feelings and making her feel seen and heard. Even in the face of differences, empathy fosters a bond where both individuals feel valued and respected. By actively practicing empathy, a man nurtures a relationship that feels safe and supportive, creating a strong foundation for mutual growth and understanding. A man should avoid placing unrealistic expectations on a relationship. Relationships are not the answer to all life's problems, and expecting perfection only leads to disappointment. Every relationship will have its challenges, and expecting someone to be a source of endless happiness or to meet every need is neither realistic nor fair. Instead, a man should approach the relationship with an understanding that it's a partnership between two imperfect people who will grow and learn together. By accepting each other's flaws and working through them, the bond grows more resilient and meaningful. It's also crucial never to lose sight of self-care and personal growth within the relationship. Becoming overly dependent on another person for validation or fulfillment places an unfair burden on them and often leads to frustration. A man should continually nurture his own growth, passions, and interests outside of the relationship. This doesn't create distance. It enriches the relationship by allowing him to bring a well-rounded, fulfilled self to the table. Taking care of oneself is not selfish. It ensures that he remains emotionally balanced and capable of bringing his best self to the partnership. One should never stop learning and improving. Relationships, like people, are dynamic and evolving. A man who stops working on himself becomes stagnant, and that stagnation can seep into the relationship. By continually striving to become a better person, he doesn't just benefit himself. He brings that growth and progress to the relationship. Self-improvement doesn't only enhance his character, but also inspires those around him to grow and reach their potential. By committing to lifelong learning and improvement, a man keeps the relationship vibrant and creates an atmosphere where both partners feel encouraged to evolve. It's important never to neglect the value of gratitude. Showing appreciation for the small, everyday acts of kindness or support goes a long way. A man who regularly expresses gratitude, whether in words or actions, reinforces the positive aspects of the relationship. When gratitude is woven into the fabric of daily interactions, it creates an atmosphere of warmth and contentment. A relationship flourishes when both individuals feel valued and appreciated for their efforts. Practicing gratitude is a simple but powerful way to remind oneself of the reasons to be grateful for the partnership and to nurture it with positivity and care. In the end, a man's approach to relationships should be defined by respect, empathy, and personal responsibility. By avoiding these common pitfalls and committing to growth, he creates a foundation of integrity and trust that allows the relationship to thrive, not just for himself, but for both individuals involved. Furthermore, a man should be mindful not to dismiss the importance of shared responsibilities in the relationship. Relationships are a partnership, and one person shouldn't bear the weight of all responsibilities, whether it's emotional support, household duties, or decision-making. When a man actively participates and takes his share of responsibilities, it demonstrates a commitment to equality and mutual respect. This cooperation reinforces a feeling of togetherness and prevents either person from feeling overwhelmed or underappreciated. Neglecting shared responsibilities can create resentment, whereas contributing fairly strengthens the partnership and allows each person to feel valued. It's essential to avoid neglecting communication, especially in times of conflict. Silence or avoidance can feel like a form of punishment, leaving issues unresolved and emotions lingering. Open, honest dialogue, even when it's uncomfortable, is necessary for resolving misunderstandings and clarifying needs. A man should prioritize finding a respectful way to express himself, recognizing that honest conversation is the most direct path to maintaining understanding. Ignoring problems doesn't make them disappear. Instead, it compounds them, making it difficult to rebuild connection and trust later on. Clear and open communication is a cornerstone of respect and allows for a relationship to adapt and grow. Additionally, it's critical to never place all the blame on her when issues arise. Relationships involve two people, and most conflicts have shared contributions. Reflecting on one's own role in any situation demonstrates self-awareness and accountability. When a man acknowledges his own part in disagreements, he opens the door to mutual understanding and problem-solving, allowing both individuals to move forward constructively. Blame shifting only fuels defensiveness and disrupts emotional safety, but owning up to one's actions fosters respect and cooperation, essential elements for a lasting relationship. Overlooking the importance of kindness is also a mistake to avoid. It's easy to get comfortable and take kindness for granted as relationships mature, but consistent gestures of kindness nourish the bond. Simple acts of thoughtfulness, whether it's listening attentively, offering help, or showing affection, create an environment of love and support. Kindness should be a conscious choice, regardless of circumstances, because it demonstrates care and reminds each person why they're together. It's an effort that requires minimal resources, but brings lasting rewards, filling the relationship with positivity and resilience. A man should also never disregard her achievements or personal growth. Every individual has personal goals and accomplishments that deserve acknowledgement and celebration. When a man supports and applauds her achievements, it reflects a genuine interest in her happiness and success. On the other hand, ignoring or downplaying her accomplishments can feel diminishing, as though her successes are insignificant. By celebrating her achievements and growth, he shows that he values her as an individual, independent of the relationship, creating a space where both can thrive personally and together. Avoiding emotional vulnerability is another common pitfall. While societal norms may encourage men to suppress emotions, genuine relationships are built on openness and trust. Sharing one's feelings, fears, and vulnerabilities strengthens emotional intimacy, allowing both individuals to support each other authentically. Vulnerability fosters a sense of closeness that cannot be achieved through guardedness. When a man is open about his own emotions, it gives her permission to be open as well, creating a partnership based on mutual trust and understanding. A man should never forget to respect her need for independence. Healthy relationships are built on the foundation of two whole individuals who maintain their own identities and interests outside the partnership. A man should encourage her pursuits and respect her time spent with friends, family, or on personal projects. Clinging too closely or demanding constant attention can feel suffocating and may create feelings of restriction. By respecting her independence, he communicates that he values her freedom and individuality, which, in turn, enriches the bond and allows each person to bring their best self to the relationship. By practicing these principles, a man not only honors his partner, but also elevates his own character, fostering a relationship grounded in respect, understanding, and shared growth. Through commitment to these values, a man creates a lasting bond that is resilient, supportive, and deeply fulfilling for both individuals involved. Another important consideration is never to allow ego to dominate interactions. In any relationship, moments of disagreement are inevitable, but if a man lets his pride override his sense of reason and fairness, the relationship can suffer. There's a significant difference between confidence and arrogance, and maintaining humility, especially when faced with differing opinions, shows maturity. By placing connection over ego, a man ensures that both voices are heard and solutions are reached without resentment. Ego can create walls that prevent understanding and mutual respect, while humility builds bridges that foster closeness and resilience. Additionally, a man should avoid the trap of assuming he always knows what's best for her. Each person brings a lifetime of experiences, values, and insights to a relationship, and it's crucial to honor those. A man should remain open to her perspective, acknowledging that she knows herself best and trusting her judgments. Assuming superiority in decision-making can diminish her sense of agency and trust in the relationship. Instead, by encouraging her input and respecting her choices, he creates an environment where both individuals can share openly and feel equally valued. It's also wise to avoid making the relationship the entirety of his identity. While meaningful relationships add tremendous value to life, it's essential to maintain a well-rounded sense of self. A man should have his own goals, friendships, and passions outside the relationship. When one becomes solely defined by a partnership, they risk losing their sense of individuality, which can create a dynamic where the relationship feels burdensome rather than liberating. By nurturing his own identity, a man brings a balanced, fulfilled self to the relationship, making it stronger and more vibrant. Independence complements companionship, adding depth and stability to the bond. Criticizing or shaming her, even subtly, is something to strictly avoid. Criticism, especially about personal choices, appearance, or personality, chips away at self-confidence and intimacy. If there are concerns, a man should approach them with compassion, focusing on constructive feedback rather than criticism. Instead of focusing on what he dislikes, he should aim to address issues in a way that strengthens rather than harms. Making her feel appreciated for who she is helps build trust and nurtures a sense of emotional safety within the relationship. Another critical mistake to avoid is expecting her to carry all the emotional weight. Emotional labor, whether it's offering support during tough times, organizing plans, or keeping the relationship emotionally tuned, should be a shared responsibility. A man should be aware of the emotional needs in the relationship and contribute equally. When emotional labor becomes one-sided, it creates an imbalance that can leave one person feeling drained or underappreciated. Sharing the emotional load fosters a sense of partnership and equality, where each person feels cared for and supported. It's also important to avoid judging her past or holding it against her. Everyone has a history, and expecting perfection in a partner's past is unrealistic and unfair. Instead of focusing on what has already happened, a man should appreciate the person she is now, recognizing that her past experiences have shaped her. Holding on to judgments about the past creates unnecessary tension and can prevent the relationship from growing. True respect means embracing her as she is, without letting past events cloud the present connection. A man should avoid the mistake of ignoring the small things in a relationship. Small gestures of affection, acts of kindness, or moments of attention can have a powerful impact. Sometimes it's the small, consistent acts of thoughtfulness that keep a relationship strong. By paying attention to her likes, dislikes, and even the little details that bring her joy, he demonstrates care and attentiveness. Often it's these small, meaningful gestures that make the biggest difference over time, adding depth and warmth to the relationship. It's also wise to avoid using affection as a tool for control. Affection should be genuine and freely given, not something offered conditionally or used to sway behavior. When affection becomes a tool for manipulation, it no longer feels authentic and instead creates a dynamic of mistrust. Genuine affection strengthens bonds, whereas conditional affection weakens them. A man should offer affection sincerely as an expression of love and respect, rather than as a means of control. It's essential to remember never to lose sight of one's own values and principles within the relationship. Compromise is vital in any partnership, but it should not come at the cost of one's core beliefs and values. A relationship built on mutual respect allows both individuals to stay true to their principles without feeling pressured to conform. When a man honors his own values, he also inspires his partner to do the same, creating a foundation of mutual respect and authenticity. By committing to these principles, a man creates a relationship filled with respect, empathy, and genuine connection. It becomes a space where both individuals can thrive, learn, and grow together, free from manipulation, resentment, or regret. Through his actions, he doesn't just nurture a healthy partnership, he also evolves into a person of integrity and wisdom, leaving a lasting positive impact on both his partner and himself. A man should also be mindful never to pressure her to change for his own comfort or preference. It's natural to have different habits, quirks, and interests, and accepting these unique traits is part of building a balanced and respectful relationship. Expecting her to change her personality, appearance, or passions to fit his ideal ultimately dismisses her individuality. Growth within a relationship should come from a place of mutual encouragement rather than pressure. Embracing her as she is, with all her uniqueness, demonstrates maturity and genuine respect, and it fosters a partnership where both can be their authentic selves. In line with this, a man should avoid prioritizing his needs above hers as a default. In a balanced relationship, both individuals' needs are given consideration, creating an atmosphere of fairness and empathy. When one person's needs consistently come first, it can lead to feelings of neglect or resentment. A wise man listens actively and values her feelings, recognizing that a successful partnership is built on equal ground. This doesn't mean each person's needs will always align perfectly, but it means each person knows they are valued. Prioritizing each other's well-being creates a sense of security and deepens the connection over time. It's also essential not to undermine her sense of confidence, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Criticizing or questioning her decisions or accomplishments subtly can erode her confidence and sense of self. A man should uplift and support her aspirations rather than casting doubt. Confidence thrives in an environment of encouragement, and by being a steady source of support, he helps build her self-esteem and reinforces a positive, nurturing bond. Even when offering constructive feedback, he should aim to be encouraging, focusing on growth rather than perfection. A man should avoid making assumptions about her thoughts or feelings. Assumptions often lead to misunderstandings, as they can distort reality and create unnecessary tension. When a man feels uncertain about her feelings or perspectives, asking her directly in a respectful, open way fosters honest communication and clarity. Relationships thrive when both individuals feel safe enough to express themselves without judgment. By avoiding assumptions and instead valuing open dialogue, a man creates a foundation of trust and transparency. Similarly, he should avoid the tendency to fix every problem she shares with him. Often, when someone opens up about a challenge or frustration, they're looking for empathy and understanding rather than solutions. A man's instinct may be to solve her problems, but sometimes what she truly needs is simply a listening ear. Providing a space where she feels heard and validated can be much more meaningful than offering a quick fix. Showing support through understanding rather than jumping into problem-solving mode builds emotional intimacy and strengthens trust. Another crucial aspect to avoid is letting routine take over the relationship. Over time, relationships can fall into patterns, which can sometimes make things feel predictable or even monotonous. While stability is essential, variety and spontaneity also add vitality. A man should remember to keep the relationship dynamic, whether through small surprises, shared adventures, or even just meaningful conversations. This effort keeps the connection fresh and reminds both individuals of the excitement that brought them together in the first place. Embracing change and variety within a stable relationship cultivates a balance between security and excitement. Neglecting self-reflection is another pitfall that can harm the relationship. Taking the time to regularly assess one's actions, intentions, and growth helps a man remain aligned with his values and prevents unconscious mistakes from accumulating over time. Self-reflection allows him to be more aware of how his actions impact his partner and the relationship as a whole. This practice of introspection fosters continuous growth and makes him more mindful of his partner's needs and his own, leading to a relationship that evolves positively over time. A man should avoid approaching the relationship as a transactional arrangement where every effort requires equal compensation. Love and respect are not currencies to be traded, but rather acts of care that flow freely when they are sincere. Viewing the relationship through a transactional lens risks creating an atmosphere of obligation rather than genuine care. Instead, a man should aim to give without the expectation of return, trusting that his partner values the relationship equally. This approach fosters a connection based on generosity and appreciation, where both individuals contribute out of love rather than duty. When a man embraces these principles with a sincere heart, he elevates both himself and his relationship. His actions create a bond based on mutual respect, compassion, and a shared commitment to growth. Through each intentional choice, he lays the groundwork for a fulfilling partnership that enriches both lives and builds a legacy of wisdom, empathy, and integrity. Moreover, a man should be careful never to treat vulnerability as a weakness, either in himself or in his partner. True closeness in a relationship comes from allowing both people to feel safe enough to show their true selves, including their fears, doubts, and insecurities. When a man dismisses or mocks vulnerability, it discourages openness and creates emotional barriers. Embracing vulnerability, on the other hand, fosters a deeper connection and shows a strong character capable of empathy and understanding. Recognizing that vulnerability is a source of strength rather than something to be hidden builds a foundation where both partners feel fully accepted and valued. Another aspect to avoid is keeping score in the relationship, where every favor or sacrifice is mentally tallied. Relationships are not competitions or ledgers to be balanced, but are places of mutual support where both individuals give and receive freely. Keeping score can create resentment, especially when one partner feels their efforts go unappreciated or undervalued. A man should strive to give without expectation, trusting that in a balanced relationship, both partners will naturally find ways to support each other. This perspective of giving freely contributes to an atmosphere of generosity and abundance, making both individuals feel genuinely cared for. A man should also avoid shutting down during emotional conversations or disagreements. In moments of tension, it can feel easier to disengage or withdraw, but shutting down creates distance and prevents resolution. Emotional availability means staying present even in uncomfortable situations, allowing issues to be addressed with compassion and patience. When a man chooses to stay open and listen actively, he demonstrates that he values the relationship enough to face challenges together. This commitment to emotional presence during difficult moments strengthens the bond and builds a foundation of trust and resilience. Another point worth emphasizing is never to belittle or disregard her dreams and aspirations. Just as a man values his own ambitions, he should equally respect hers, even if they differ from his own path. Belittling her goals or implying they are less important reflects a lack of respect for her individuality and self-worth. A supportive partner encourages growth and helps build confidence. By honoring her dreams, he shows that he believes in her potential, fostering an environment where both individuals feel empowered to pursue what matters most to them. Avoiding complacency and self-improvement is equally vital. Growth is a continuous journey, and a relationship is most fulfilling when both individuals strive to better themselves for their own sake and for the relationship. If a man becomes stagnant, both his personal well-being and the relationship can suffer. Commitment to self-growth demonstrates respect for his partner and the life they share, showing that he is invested in building a strong, resilient, and healthy connection. This commitment encourages a relationship dynamic where both partners inspire each other toward positive transformation. It's also important not to trivialize her emotions, whether they stem from personal challenges or something within the relationship. Minimizing her feelings by saying things like, "You're overreacting," or "It's not that big of a deal," can make her feel unseen and misunderstood. Validating her emotions doesn't mean agreeing with every sentiment, but rather acknowledging that her feelings are real and important. A man should approach these moments with empathy, giving space for her emotions without judgment. This approach fosters a supportive environment where both individuals feel safe to express themselves fully. Never interrupting or speaking over her is another vital practice. Communication is a two-way street, and cutting someone off implies that their words or opinions are less valuable. When a man listens fully, he demonstrates respect for her perspective and gives her the space to express herself freely. Practicing patience in conversation not only strengthens understanding, but also helps prevent misunderstandings. This simple act of attentiveness shows her that her thoughts are valued, building a deeper, more trusting connection. A man should avoid assuming that affection alone is enough to sustain a relationship. While love and affection are foundational, relationships also need intentional effort, consistency, and active participation. This involves dedicating time, energy, and thought to nurturing the relationship through both the highs and lows. A strong relationship is built not just on affection, but on the willingness to put in effort, even during times when it requires patience and resilience. Consistent, intentional effort communicates that he values the relationship deeply and is committed to its growth. It's essential to refrain from letting pride prevent apologies or expressions of remorse. Apologizing when one is in the wrong is a simple act, yet it can be challenging due to pride or fear of vulnerability. An apology, however, is a powerful way to mend and strengthen a relationship, showing accountability and a willingness to make things right. By setting pride aside and offering a genuine apology when necessary, a man demonstrates humility and respect, reinforcing the trust that binds the relationship together. In each of these choices, a man has the opportunity to create a relationship grounded in respect, empathy, and personal responsibility. By consciously avoiding these pitfalls and embracing understanding and compassion, he creates a space where both individuals feel safe, valued, and loved. Through this mindful approach, a relationship becomes a source of genuine joy, support, and growth for both partners. Moreover, a man should be careful never to treat vulnerability as a weakness, either in himself or in his partner. True closeness in a relationship comes from allowing both people to feel safe enough to show their true selves, including their fears, doubts, and insecurities. When a man dismisses or mocks vulnerability, it discourages openness and creates emotional barriers. Embracing vulnerability, on the other hand, fosters a deeper connection and shows a strong character capable of empathy and understanding. Recognizing that vulnerability is a source of strength rather than something to be hidden builds a foundation where both partners feel fully accepted and valued. Another aspect to avoid is keeping score in the relationship, where every favor or sacrifice is mentally tallied. Relationships are not competitions or ledgers to be balanced, but are places of mutual support, where both individuals give and receive freely. Keeping score can create resentment, especially when one partner feels their efforts go unappreciated or undervalued. A man should strive to give without expectation, trusting that in a balanced relationship, both partners will naturally find ways to support each other. This perspective of giving freely contributes to an atmosphere of generosity and abundance, making both individuals feel genuinely cared for. A man should also avoid shutting down during emotional conversations or disagreements. In moments of tension, it can feel easier to disengage or withdraw, but shutting down creates distance and prevents resolution. Emotional availability means staying present even in uncomfortable situations, allowing issues to be addressed with compassion and patience. When a man chooses to stay open and listen actively, he demonstrates that he values the relationship enough to face challenges together. This commitment to emotional presence during difficult moments strengthens the bond and builds a foundation of trust and resilience. Another point worth emphasizing is never to belittle or disregard her dreams and aspirations. Just as a man values his own ambitions, he should equally respect hers, even if they differ from his own path. Belittling her goals or implying they are less important reflects a lack of respect for her individuality and self-worth. A supportive partner encourages growth and helps build confidence. By honoring her dreams, he shows that he believes in her potential, fostering an environment where both individuals feel empowered to pursue what matters most to them. Avoiding complacency in self-improvement is equally vital. Growth is a continuous journey, and a relationship is most fulfilling when both individuals strive to better themselves for their own sake and for the relationship. If a man becomes stagnant, both his personal well-being and the relationship can suffer. Commitment to self-growth demonstrates respect for his partner and the life they share, showing that he is invested in building a strong, resilient, and healthy connection. This commitment encourages a relationship dynamic where both partners inspire each other toward positive transformation. It's also important not to trivialize her emotions, whether they stem from personal challenges or something within the relationship. Minimizing her feelings by saying things like, "You're overreacting," or "It's not that big of a deal," can make her feel unseen and misunderstood. Validating her emotions doesn't mean agreeing with every sentiment, but rather acknowledging that her feelings are real and important. A man should approach these moments with empathy, giving space for her emotions without judgment. This approach fosters a supportive environment where both individuals feel safe to express themselves fully. Never interrupting or speaking over her is another vital practice. Communication is a two-way street, and cutting someone off implies that their words or opinions are less valuable. When a man listens fully, he demonstrates respect for her perspective and gives her the space to express herself freely. Practicing patience in conversation not only strengthens understanding, but also helps prevent misunderstandings. This simple act of attentiveness shows her that her thoughts are valued, building a deeper, more trusting connection. A man should avoid assuming that affection alone is enough to sustain a relationship. While love and affection are foundational, relationships also need intentional effort, consistency, and active participation. This involves dedicating time, energy, and thought to nurturing the relationship through both the highs and lows. A strong relationship is built not just on affection, but on the willingness to put in effort, even during times when it requires patience and resilience. Consistent, intentional effort communicates that he values the relationship deeply and is committed to its growth. It's essential to refrain from letting pride prevent apologies or expressions of remorse. Apologizing when one is in the wrong is a simple act, yet it can be challenging due to pride or fear of vulnerability. An apology, however, is a powerful way to mend and strengthen a relationship, showing accountability and a willingness to make things right. By setting pride aside and offering a genuine apology when necessary, a man demonstrates humility and respect, reinforcing the trust that binds the relationship together. In each of these choices, a man has the opportunity to create a relationship grounded in respect, empathy, and personal responsibility. By consciously avoiding these pitfalls and embracing understanding and compassion, he creates a space where both individuals feel safe, valued, and loved. Through this mindful approach, a relationship becomes a source of genuine joy, support, and growth for both partners. A man should also avoid overlooking the importance of maintaining his own passions and interests. While it's natural to prioritize a relationship, especially in its early stages, it's essential not to lose sight of personal growth and hobbies that bring him joy. Retaining his individuality not only keeps him balanced and fulfilled, but also adds depth to the relationship. When he pursues his own goals, he brings new insights, experiences, and energy into the partnership. This balance between individuality and togetherness fosters a relationship where both people grow as individuals while still supporting each other. In line with this, he should be careful not to let self-care fall by the wayside. Often, when people enter a committed relationship, they pour energy into caring for their partner and sometimes forget to prioritize their own well-being. Neglecting self-care, whether physical, mental, or emotional, can lead to burnout, resentment, and an imbalance in the relationship. By prioritizing his health and happiness, he remains strong and resilient, ensuring that he can show up fully for his partner. A relationship thrives when both individuals are committed to nurturing their own well-being, creating a foundation where both feel cared for and valued. A man should also strive to avoid taking things personally when his partner is going through her own challenges. Everyone has days when they're more stressed, distracted, or even irritable due to outside factors. Assuming that her mood or behavior is always a reflection of her feelings about the relationship can create unnecessary tension. Instead, he should approach her with empathy, recognizing that she too has her own battles. Giving her the space and understanding she needs during difficult times shows maturity and emotional resilience, deepening the bond through compassion rather than reaction. Avoiding impulsive reactions, especially in heated moments, is also vital. In any relationship, conflicts are bound to arise, but reacting impulsively or harshly often escalates situations unnecessarily. A wise approach is to take a pause, consider the long-term impact of words or actions, and respond with calmness. This choice doesn't only prevent regret, it also demonstrates respect for the relationship and for her feelings. A man who consistently chooses patience over impulsiveness fosters a secure and stable environment, showing that he values the relationship enough to handle conflicts with care. Furthermore, a man should be cautious never to make her feel unworthy of love due to her vulnerabilities or insecurities. We all carry insecurities, and sharing them requires immense trust. Dismissing or criticizing her for her insecurities can make her feel unworthy or undeserving of love, creating an emotional divide. Instead, he should approach these moments with compassion, offering reassurance and understanding. A supportive response not only strengthens her self-confidence, but also deepens the trust within the relationship, building a safe space where both partners can feel accepted without fear of judgment. Equally important is not projecting one's own insecurities onto her. It's easy to let personal doubts or past experiences influence how one perceives a partner's actions or intentions. But projection can lead to unfair assumptions and misunderstandings. Recognizing when insecurities are affecting perception and addressing them personally rather than projecting them onto her shows emotional intelligence and self-awareness. This approach allows the relationship to flourish without the weight of misplaced assumptions, creating a clear, open path for communication and mutual understanding. A man should also avoid holding back his genuine feelings, whether it's appreciation, admiration, or affection. Sometimes people hesitate to express their emotions out of fear of vulnerability or rejection, but withholding these feelings can leave his partner feeling unappreciated or uncertain. By openly expressing affection and admiration, he reinforces the bond and creates an atmosphere of emotional warmth. Simple gestures of love and acknowledgement can mean a great deal, keeping the connection alive and reminding both partners of the love they share. Another pitfall to avoid is forgetting to show respect during disagreements. Disagreements are natural, but the manner in which they're handled can either strengthen or weaken the relationship. Disrespectful language, dismissiveness, or condescension in the heat of an argument can create wounds that take a long time to heal. Even in moments of frustration, maintaining a tone of respect ensures that the disagreement remains constructive rather than destructive. Respect in disagreements shows that he values her as a person, reinforcing a foundation where both partners feel safe and honored, even in moments of conflict. It's important not to underestimate the significance of consistency. Relationships are built over time through a series of consistent actions and intentions. A man should avoid sporadic efforts where he is attentive and caring one moment and indifferent the next. Consistency demonstrates reliability, making his partner feel secure in the relationship and confident in his commitment. Showing up consistently in small and big ways strengthens the bond and fosters a sense of safety and trust. It's the steady, day-to-day acts of care and reliability that lay the groundwork for a lasting, fulfilling partnership. In nurturing these values and making them a natural part of his actions, a man fosters a relationship that not only brings joy and meaning, but also stands the test of time. Each choice he makes to honor, support, and understand his partner brings them closer and builds a foundation of love, respect, and mutual growth. Through this dedicated and mindful approach, he not only cultivates a deep and meaningful connection, but also evolves into a man of integrity, compassion, and enduring strength, embodying the values that truly sustain a fulfilling partnership. A further essential principle for a man in a relationship is to avoid overlooking the importance of emotional reassurance. While a strong foundation of trust is critical, ongoing reassurance helps both partners feel secure and valued. Even when things feel stable, taking time to affirm his love, care, and commitment goes a long way in reinforcing the bond. Emotional reassurance creates an atmosphere where both individuals feel safe to be themselves and confident in the relationship's stability. Through small gestures, whether verbal affirmations or acts of thoughtfulness, he continuously strengthens the connection. Another aspect a man should be mindful of is avoiding complacency in romance. In long-term relationships, it's easy to let the initial spark fade as routines set in. However, making an effort to keep romance alive fosters a sense of excitement and deepens intimacy. Romance doesn't require grand gestures. It can be as simple as planning a surprise outing, writing a heartfelt note, or creating moments of connection in everyday life. These acts remind both partners of their unique connection and reignite the feelings that first brought them together. By continuing to invest in romance, a man shows that he values and cherishes the relationship as much as ever. It's also essential not to undermine her trust by being inconsistent or dishonest, even in small matters. Trust, once broken, can be challenging to rebuild, and even minor deceptions can create cracks in the foundation. A man should aim to practice honesty in both word and action, showing that he respects her enough to be transparent. Consistency and honesty strengthen the relationship, allowing both individuals to feel secure and deeply connected. In a relationship built on trust, there is room for vulnerability, mutual understanding, and growth, making honesty one of the most valuable commitments a man can uphold. Avoiding the tendency to neglect emotional presence is equally important. Physical presence is one thing, but being emotionally available, really listening, engaging, and responding thoughtfully adds depth to the relationship. It's not enough to simply be in the same space. A man should be genuinely attentive, showing interest in her thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Being emotionally present communicates that he values her on a deeper level and is genuinely invested in her well-being. This attentiveness nurtures emotional intimacy, fostering a bond that goes beyond surface-level interactions. It's also essential for a man to avoid invalidating her feelings by responding dismissively. When she shares something sensitive or personal, acknowledging her emotions with empathy rather than brushing them aside is key to maintaining a safe space for open communication. Dismissive responses, even if unintentional, can make her feel misunderstood or unvalued. By validating her feelings and showing empathy, a man creates a partnership where both people feel accepted and supported, which is crucial for lasting emotional intimacy. Another pitfall to avoid is letting external influences dictate the course of the relationship. Outside opinions, whether from friends, family, or society at large, can sometimes create pressure or influence one's perspective. A man should remember that each relationship is unique, and what works for one might not work for another. Staying true to the values and dynamics that work best for him and his partner fosters authenticity and harmony. By focusing on what truly matters to them, he shows that he values the relationship above all outside opinions and respects its individuality. It's equally important not to take differences for granted. Each person brings their own perspective, upbringing, and preferences into a relationship, and these differences can be a source of strength rather than division. Embracing her unique traits and seeing differences as opportunities for learning creates a richer, more fulfilling partnership. Instead of trying to change her to fit his preferences, a man should appreciate her distinct qualities. This respect for individuality builds mutual admiration and allows each person to contribute their unique strengths to the relationship. A man should avoid the trap of assuming that acts of service or material gifts can replace emotional connection. While gestures and gifts are meaningful, they are no substitute for genuine understanding and closeness. Material expressions of love are valuable, but they resonate most when paired with authentic emotional connection. Building a relationship where both partners feel emotionally fulfilled requires attentiveness, care, and open communication. By prioritizing emotional connection, a man ensures that the relationship remains meaningful, grounded in a deep bond that goes beyond material gestures. It's crucial not to fall into the habit of overanalyzing or overthinking every interaction. Overthinking can create a sense of doubt, insecurity, or tension that can cloud even the healthiest relationships. A man should practice trusting in the relationship's strength, embracing open communication when needed, and letting go of unnecessary worries. Overanalysis can lead to misinterpretations and self-created stress, while trust allows the relationship to breathe and develop naturally. Embracing a mindset of trust and patience keeps the connection genuine, creating a space where both partners feel secure and free to be themselves. Through these conscious practices, a man doesn't just create a fulfilling relationship, he builds a space of mutual respect, security, and love that both partners can cherish. Each action, however small, contributes to a partnership grounded in lasting values, where both people feel uplifted, understood, and encouraged to be their best selves. In dedicating himself to these principles, he cultivates not only a strong relationship, but also a legacy of integrity, empathy, and genuine commitment. This foundation becomes the bedrock of a connection that endures, providing both joy and purpose as the relationship evolves through life's many chapters. Another crucial aspect a man should keep in mind is the importance of being adaptable. Relationships are dynamic, ever-changing with the ebbs and flows of life, and each new stage presents its own set of challenges and adjustments. A man should approach these changes with an open mind and a willingness to adapt, rather than clinging rigidly to old routines or expectations. This flexibility shows that he's committed not only to the relationship, but to its growth. By staying adaptable and embracing change together, he fosters a resilient bond, ready to weather any challenges life may bring. It's also essential for a man to avoid becoming overly self-critical within the relationship. Self-awareness and reflection are positive traits, but excessive self-criticism can bring unnecessary negativity and self-doubt into the relationship. When he makes mistakes or falls short, a balanced approach, one that includes accountability, self-forgiveness, and a commitment to improve, is much healthier. A man who values his own self-worth, even amid imperfections, sets a positive example of self-respect. This practice of self-compassion radiates outward, allowing him to be a more stable and supportive partner, free from insecurity or self-imposed negativity. Another important point is never to allow routine to overshadow appreciation. As relationships mature, there's a natural tendency to settle into routines, which can sometimes lead to taking each other for granted. But a man should strive to notice and appreciate his partner's daily efforts and qualities actively. This appreciation doesn't need to be grand. It can be as simple as acknowledging her hard work, thanking her for her support, or sharing a moment of gratitude. When both partners maintain a habit of appreciation, they nurture a sense of joy and contentment, preventing complacency from diminishing the relationship's depth. Similarly, it's vital not to lose sight of humor and lightheartedness. In the midst of life's challenges, laughter and playfulness are essential ingredients that keep the relationship vibrant. A man should remember that even in serious relationships, there's room for fun, spontaneity, and shared laughter. By keeping things light-hearted at times, he helps to ease tension, create happy memories, and remind both partners of the joy they share. Humor isn't just a relief during tough times, it's a bond that strengthens resilience, allowing both individuals to enjoy each other's company fully. A man should also avoid overlooking the power of apology, even when disagreements seem small. Apologizing is not a sign of weakness, but rather a commitment to harmony. It demonstrates accountability, humility, and respect for his partner's feelings. Sometimes even a small misstep can impact the relationship's atmosphere, and a simple, heartfelt apology can clear any lingering tension. A sincere apology builds trust, showing that he values the relationship enough to acknowledge when he's wrong and make amends. This practice of humility keeps the partnership grounded in mutual respect. Another thing to be mindful of is avoiding assumptions about how she feels or what she needs. Instead of assuming, a man should ask directly, approaching her with genuine curiosity and concern. Relationships flourish when both people feel comfortable communicating openly, knowing their needs and emotions will be heard without judgment. By asking questions, he shows that he values her perspective and is committed to understanding her as deeply as possible. This openness encourages her to share more, strengthening the emotional intimacy and ensuring that both people feel understood and respected. A man should avoid neglecting the importance of gratitude for the relationship itself. Amidst the daily routines, it's easy to forget to acknowledge the partnership as a whole, the shared experiences, growth, and companionship that enrich life. Taking time to reflect on the journey together, whether through small moments of gratitude or thoughtful conversations, deepens the bond. This reflection serves as a reminder of how far they've come and the purpose they continue to build together. Regularly celebrating the relationship, even in quiet ways, reinforces a sense of unity and appreciation, creating a foundation that becomes more meaningful with each passing day. An additional aspect that a man should consider is avoiding complacency in learning about his partner as time goes on. People evolve, and as the relationship matures, each person grows and changes. A man should remain curious and open to discovering who his partner is becoming, even after years together. This ongoing interest helps both partners feel valued and understood, and it brings a sense of renewal to the relationship. By staying curious about her dreams, challenges, and aspirations, he communicates that she's important to him beyond the familiar. He sees her as a dynamic individual worth knowing deeply at every stage of life. Equally important is avoiding the habit of ignoring self-expression. Men are often conditioned to stay stoic, but sharing emotions openly strengthens a relationship. A man should aim to express his feelings, whether it's joy, fear, or vulnerability, in a way that invites connection rather than distance. Emotional openness fosters a deeper understanding and brings authenticity to the relationship. When both partners feel comfortable sharing their emotions without judgment, they create a bond that is genuinely supportive and grounded in mutual trust. A man should also avoid making her feel solely responsible for his happiness. While it's natural to derive joy from a relationship, expecting a partner to fulfill every emotional need places undue pressure on her. Each person is ultimately responsible for their own sense of well-being and growth. By cultivating his own passions, friendships, and sense of purpose, he brings a well-rounded self to the relationship, enriching it with diverse sources of fulfillment. This approach not only nurtures individual happiness, but also prevents codependency, allowing both partners to thrive as independent individuals within a supportive partnership. It's essential to avoid disregarding the power of active listening. Often, in conversations, it's easy to fall into the trap of waiting to respond rather than truly hearing what the other person is saying. A man should practice listening with intention, giving his full attention and focusing on understanding rather than reacting. Active listening shows respect for her thoughts and feelings and opens the door to deeper conversations. By being fully present, he demonstrates that he values her perspective and is committed to understanding her fully, reinforcing the trust and intimacy in the relationship. Another key point is avoiding defensiveness when confronted with his own flaws. No one is perfect, and part of a successful relationship is acknowledging areas for growth. When his partner offers feedback, a man should aim to receive it with humility rather than react defensively. This openness not only helps him grow as an individual, but also builds a partnership where both people feel comfortable addressing issues constructively. Accepting feedback gracefully creates a foundation where both partners feel empowered to communicate honestly, allowing the relationship to evolve in a positive direction. A man should also avoid letting external stresses dictate his behavior in the relationship. Work, finances, or personal challenges are inevitable, but bringing that stress into the relationship can create unnecessary tension. Practicing healthy stress management, whether through mindfulness, exercise, or hobbies, helps him keep a clear boundary between outside pressures and his interactions with his partner. When he takes responsibility for managing his stress, he's better able to show up in the relationship with patience, positivity, and focus. This approach builds a stable environment where the relationship remains a safe haven, even during challenging times. Avoiding excessive control over decisions is also crucial. Mutual respect means sharing decision-making responsibilities rather than dominating them. A man should encourage his partner's input, honoring her perspective and allowing for a balanced approach to choices. This collaborative mindset strengthens the relationship as both individuals feel valued and respected in their opinions. Letting go of control doesn't just build trust. It also empowers both partners to create a life that truly reflects their shared goals and values. It's equally important not to downplay her achievements or growth. Celebrating each other's accomplishments and milestones, big or small, creates a positive dynamic where both partners feel supported and valued. A man should take genuine pride in her achievements, showing enthusiasm for her success and recognizing her hard work. This practice of mutual celebration fosters an environment where both people feel inspired to pursue their goals and grow as individuals, adding richness and depth to the relationship. Additionally, he should avoid letting routines replace intimacy. While it's natural to settle into comfortable patterns, actively prioritizing intimacy, whether through quality time, physical affection, or meaningful conversation, helps maintain a sense of closeness. Setting aside time for one another away from distractions reminds both partners of their connection and strengthens their bond. In nurturing intimacy, a man reinforces that the relationship is not just about routine, but about true companionship, love, and partnership. An important element for a man to embrace in a relationship is avoiding neglect of shared goals and future planning. As a partnership matures, it's essential to have conversations about dreams, aspirations, and what both partners envision for the future. This could range from discussing career goals, family planning, travel aspirations, or even shared projects. By aligning on future goals, a man demonstrates that he sees the relationship as a journey they are navigating together. This mutual vision builds a sense of purpose and direction, creating a solid foundation upon which both partners can build their lives. Another area to be mindful of is not shying away from vulnerability. Sometimes men feel pressured to appear strong or invulnerable, yet sharing one's insecurities, fears, or doubts actually deepens intimacy. When a man is willing to be vulnerable, he invites his partner to do the same, creating an environment of openness and trust. Vulnerability isn't a sign of weakness, rather it's a display of authenticity that strengthens the emotional connection. It reminds both partners that they're on the same team, facing life's ups and downs together, providing each other with empathy and support. Avoiding comparison to past relationships is equally important. Each relationship is unique, shaped by the people within it, and comparing it to previous ones can be unfair to both partners. A man should value his partner in the relationship for what they are in the present, free from the expectations or shadows of the past. By focusing on the unique qualities of his current relationship, he fosters an atmosphere where both individuals feel valued for who they are, creating a truly fresh and meaningful connection that is grounded in the present moment. A man should also resist the tendency to withdraw during conflicts. Avoiding or shutting down can seem like a way to dodge uncomfortable situations, but it can leave unresolved issues festering beneath the surface. Rather than avoiding conflict, he should approach it as an opportunity to communicate openly and strengthen the relationship, handling disagreements with patience and empathy, aiming to understand her perspective as well as expressing his own, turns conflicts into growth opportunities. This approach reassures both partners that their relationship can withstand challenges, deepening trust and emotional security. It's essential not to let pride get in the way of forgiveness. Holding on to grudges or refusing to forgive after an argument or misunderstanding creates emotional distance over time. A man should remember that forgiveness is a gift to the relationship, one that allows both partners to move forward without lingering resentment. Practicing forgiveness doesn't mean ignoring problems, but addressing them and letting go of the past with compassion. When both individuals embrace forgiveness, they build a relationship where peace and understanding are prioritized, creating a resilient bond. Neglecting the need for growth and learning is another pitfall to avoid. In a lasting partnership, both individuals will grow and evolve over time, and a man should be open to this journey of shared and individual development. Staying curious, learning new things together, or supporting each other's growth keeps the relationship dynamic and enriching. This commitment to growth doesn't just benefit the relationship, it adds depth to each individual, fostering a partnership where both people feel seen, valued, and supported in their journey. A man should also be cautious of the habit of taking her emotional labor for granted. Relationships involve an ongoing emotional investment, and ensuring that both people contribute equally to nurturing the connection is essential. Checking in with each other, expressing appreciation, and offering support all contribute to a balanced dynamic. When a man shares in the emotional labor, he helps maintain an atmosphere of care and mutual responsibility, showing that he's equally invested in the well-being of the relationship. Equally important is avoiding a fear of commitment to ongoing communication. Communication isn't a one-time effort. It's a continuous process that strengthens with time, making it a regular practice to check in with his partner, discuss feelings, and reassess goals keeps the relationship healthy and transparent. This level of communication prevents misunderstandings and ensures that both people feel comfortable voicing their needs and concerns. Regular, open communication creates an emotionally safe environment, reinforcing trust and intimacy over time. Another valuable practice in a relationship is to avoid neglecting the need for patience. Life can be unpredictable, bringing challenges that neither partner can anticipate. During difficult times, a man's patience can serve as a stabilizing force, helping both individuals navigate situations with resilience and grace. When he practices patience, whether with his partner's goals, growth, or even mistakes, he reinforces a foundation of acceptance. Patience demonstrates a belief in the relationship's long-term strength and in the journey they're building together. This steady, supportive approach allows both partners to feel safe and understood, even during turbulent periods. A man should also be mindful not to overlook the power of compromise. A healthy relationship involves two unique individuals with their own perspectives, preferences, and habits. Inevitably, this will lead to differences, but compromise is what allows both partners to feel valued and heard. Compromise isn't about losing oneself, it's about finding common ground and balancing each other's needs. By approaching differences with a mindset of flexibility rather than rigidity, a man fosters a collaborative environment. This adaptability shows respect for his partner's needs and encourages her to approach challenges with the same spirit of cooperation. Another essential aspect is avoiding a lack of empathy during moments of vulnerability. Empathy is the ability to see things from his partner's perspective, which can be especially powerful during times of stress, sadness, or insecurity. When a man shows empathy, he communicates that he genuinely cares for her well-being, not just when things are smooth, but during hardships too. By offering compassion rather than judgment, he creates a safe space where she can be herself fully and openly. This empathetic support builds a relationship where both partners know they can rely on each other unconditionally. It's also crucial to avoid underestimating the importance of personal boundaries. While closeness is vital, respecting each other's need for space and individual time is equally essential. Healthy boundaries allow both individuals to maintain their sense of self within the partnership, nurturing their personal growth and well-being. Recognizing and respecting his partner's need for independence, whether it's time spent with friends, pursuing hobbies, or moments of solitude, demonstrates a respect for her individuality. This balance between togetherness and personal freedom makes the relationship both nurturing and sustainable. A man should also avoid relying solely on grand gestures to show love and commitment. While memorable surprises and special occasions are beautiful ways to express love, it's the small, consistent acts of kindness that often have the most profound impact. These could be as simple as making her morning coffee, leaving a kind note, or actively listening to her thoughts. These everyday actions signal a steady presence and a willingness to show up for her consistently. This kind of love, shown through small acts, fosters a sense of stability and security, creating a bond that is rooted in genuine care and daily attentiveness. Another key consideration is avoiding over-reliance on assumptions, especially regarding feelings or intentions. Relationships benefit greatly when both partners feel comfortable asking questions and seeking clarity. Instead of assuming he knows how she feels or what she wants, a man should stay curious, asking questions that encourage open conversation. This practice prevents misunderstandings and helps both people feel truly known and understood. By embracing curiosity over assumption, he nurtures a relationship based on open dialogue and continuous discovery. A man should also resist the impulse to expect gratitude in return for every act of kindness. Genuine generosity in a relationship means giving without strings attached. When he offers support, love, or assistance, he should do so from a place of pure intent without the expectation of recognition or reciprocation. This selflessness builds an atmosphere of trust and abundance, where both individuals feel free to give and receive without pressure. When gratitude does come, it feels natural and sincere, further reinforcing the mutual appreciation between them. Equally important is the practice of managing his expectations of perfection, both of his partner and himself. Unrealistic expectations can create stress, leading to disappointment or frustration. Instead, a man should approach the relationship with compassion, understanding that both he and his partner are human with strengths and weaknesses. Embracing imperfection and finding beauty in growth together creates a relationship that's grounded in acceptance and resilience. This approach fosters a sense of warmth and authenticity, where both partners feel free to evolve and learn without pressure. It's also wise to avoid excessive self-sacrifice to the point of neglecting personal needs. While supporting a partner is important, a healthy relationship allows both people to take care of their own well-being too. A man should be mindful not to lose himself in the process of supporting his partner. When he prioritizes self-care, he remains emotionally balanced and able to bring his best self to the relationship. By setting an example of self-respect, he also encourages his partner to honor her own needs, creating a balanced dynamic of mutual support. He should aim to approach every day with a renewed sense of gratitude for the relationship. It's easy to become accustomed to a partner's presence over time, but a man should remember that each day together is a gift. Expressing gratitude for the love, companionship, and growth they share brings a sense of joy and mindfulness to the relationship. This gratitude can be expressed in small moments, through words, gestures, or simply appreciating the beauty of having a shared journey. When both partners carry gratitude in their hearts, they create a relationship filled with positivity, respect, and enduring happiness. By committing to these principles, a man doesn't just cultivate a healthy relationship, he builds a lasting partnership based on respect, empathy, and growth. Each choice, from staying curious to expressing daily gratitude, lays the groundwork for a love that is both profound and resilient. Through these acts of mindfulness and dedication, he and his partner create a shared life rich with connection, support, and mutual understanding. Together they build a legacy of compassion and love that stands the test of time, filled with warmth, joy, and the strength to thrive through every season of life. A man should strive to remain attentive to the emotional climate of the relationship. While it's natural for both partners to have periods of emotional highs and lows, paying attention to shifts in tone, stress levels, or happiness can be a powerful way to stay connected. By being attuned to his partner's emotional state, he can offer support during challenging times and celebrate moments of joy, creating a balanced partnership. Emotional attentiveness ensures that both individuals feel genuinely cared for and understood. Through this dedication to ongoing attention, compassion, and openness, a man builds a relationship that is truly enduring. Every thoughtful choice, from vulnerability to communication, shared dreams to individual growth, contributes to a legacy of deep connection, love, and mutual respect. This approach creates a lasting partnership where both individuals not only find happiness in each other, but also a safe, nurturing environment that supports them as they grow and evolve together through every chapter of life. An additional dimension a man should prioritize in a relationship is the importance of celebrating individuality within the partnership. While togetherness and shared goals are vital, it's equally essential to honor each other's unique traits and perspectives. By embracing and encouraging her individuality, he creates a dynamic where both partners feel valued not only as part of the relationship, but as whole individuals. This respect for personal identity allows each person to bring their best qualities forward, contributing to a richer and more balanced connection. When both partners are free to be themselves, the relationship is infused with authenticity and mutual appreciation. Another fundamental practice is avoiding judgment, especially when faced with personal vulnerabilities or challenges. Everyone carries experiences and insecurities that may be difficult to share, and when a man approaches these with compassion rather than judgment, he fosters a space where his partner feels genuinely safe. This non-judgmental approach is particularly powerful in moments of openness, as it strengthens trust and affirms that he values her unconditionally. By responding with kindness and understanding, he supports her growth and builds a relationship where both individuals feel accepted for who they truly are. A man should also resist the inclination to make his partner responsible for all emotional comfort. In times of stress or difficulty, it can be natural to seek solace in a partner's support. But it's also important to cultivate emotional resilience. By working through challenges independently and developing coping skills, he brings a stable, self-sufficient presence into the relationship. This doesn't mean avoiding vulnerability, but rather balancing emotional reliance with personal responsibility. Such emotional strength supports a relationship dynamic where both partners uplift each other without placing undue burdens, creating a healthier and more sustainable foundation. It's equally important for a man to avoid undervaluing the need for regular expressions of affection. In long-term relationships, the small acts that convey love and appreciation, like holding hands, complimenting her, or simply expressing gratitude, can sometimes fade as routines take over. However, these simple gestures of affection remind both partners of their bond and reignite the feelings that brought them together. By making an effort to express love through words and actions, he continually reinforces a sense of closeness and care, showing that love is present and alive in the relationship every day. A man should also avoid neglecting shared rituals and traditions that bring joy and connection. Whether it's a weekly date night, celebrating anniversaries, or having simple routines like cooking together, these traditions add meaning and familiarity to the relationship. They create anchors in the relationship that both partners can look forward to, building shared memories and deepening their bond. Even small traditions can become treasured parts of their story, creating a unique rhythm that belongs to them alone and enriching their journey together. An important practice to incorporate is allowing room for mistakes and growth. Relationships are learning experiences, and both partners will inevitably make mistakes along the way. A man should approach these moments with patience, understanding that growth takes time and that imperfections are part of the journey. By supporting his partner through her challenges with grace and without unnecessary criticism, he builds a foundation of acceptance. This patience allows each person to grow at their own pace, creating a partnership where learning and evolving are encouraged, free from fear of judgment. Another critical aspect is avoiding an overemphasis on external validation or social performance in the relationship. In a world where comparisons and outside opinions are pervasive, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking approval from others. However, a relationship should ultimately be defined by the values and dynamics that work best for the people within it. A man should remember that the most meaningful connections are those that feel true and genuine, not those that conform to societal expectations. By prioritizing what truly matters to them as a couple, they build a bond that feels deeply satisfying, authentic, and uniquely their own. Equally, a man should avoid resisting change, whether it's in the relationship or within himself. Relationships are transformative by nature, and both partners will grow as individuals over time. Embracing change with an open heart allows the relationship to evolve naturally, adapting to new phases of life. Whether it's moving to a new place, starting a family, or simply shifting priorities, a willingness to adapt brings flexibility and resilience. When a man approaches change with positivity and support, he creates a relationship that's capable of withstanding life's transitions while remaining connected and strong. A man should also make it a point to avoid disregarding his partner's influence on his own growth. Relationships offer a unique opportunity for self-discovery, as a partner can bring fresh perspectives and insights into one's life. By remaining open to learning from his partner, whether it's about patience, creativity, resilience, or compassion, he allows himself to evolve in ways he may not have otherwise considered. Embracing her influence as a source of inspiration and guidance enriches both his own growth and the relationship, deepening their bond as they learn and grow together. Lastly, a man should strive to appreciate the journey as much as the destination. Relationships are made up of countless small moments, and true fulfillment comes from savoring these day-to-day experiences rather than focusing solely on future milestones. Each laugh, shared meal, quiet evening, or challenge overcome contributes to the fabric of the partnership. By living in the present and valuing the little things, he brings mindfulness and gratitude into the relationship, reminding both himself and his partner that each moment spent together is meaningful. In adopting these mindful practices, a man fosters a relationship that is nurturing, resilient, and deeply connected. Each thoughtful choice he makes, from embracing individuality to allowing for mistakes and savoring the journey, builds a foundation rooted in trust, respect, and mutual joy. Together, he and his partner create a love that grows with them, one that stands the test of time and brings fulfillment through every stage of life. This approach not only enhances the relationship, but also contributes to a legacy of compassion, wisdom, and enduring happiness, shaping a partnership that is as beautiful as it is profound. In addition, a man should embrace the value of humility in a relationship. Humility allows him to recognize when he may not have all the answers, fostering a willingness to learn from his partner's perspective. Rather than letting pride or ego create barriers, humility encourages a collaborative spirit where both individuals feel free to express themselves and share ideas without fear of dismissal. When a man approaches situations with an open mind and a respect for his partner's insights, he builds a foundation of mutual respect and shared wisdom, strengthening the relationship's depth. Another essential practice is to avoid rushing emotional healing or growth, whether it pertains to himself or his partner. Healing, personal development, and emotional growth all take time and occur at their own pace. A man should resist imposing timelines or expecting instant results, allowing each person the space to evolve in their own way. By supporting his partner through her personal journey with patience and compassion, he fosters an environment where both individuals feel encouraged to heal and grow without pressure. This approach nurtures resilience in the relationship, creating a space where growth happens naturally and at a pace that feels right for both partners. It's also vital for a man to avoid neglecting the importance of shared values. While it's normal for each person to have individual interests and viewpoints, foundational values like honesty, kindness, commitment, and respect create a shared compass that guides the relationship through life's complexities. A man should regularly reflect on these core values with his partner, ensuring they remain aligned on what truly matters. This alignment provides stability, especially during challenging times, as both individuals can lean on their shared principles to make decisions and overcome difficulties together. A man should also be cautious of neglecting regular expressions of gratitude for his partner's presence in his life. Gratitude goes beyond thanking her for specific actions. It involves recognizing her impact on his life, the joy she brings, and the growth she inspires. Expressing this gratitude strengthens the emotional bond and reminds both partners of the reasons they chose to be together. When gratitude is woven into daily interactions, it creates an atmosphere of appreciation and love, making each partner feel valued and cherished for who they are. Another point to remember is avoidance of difficult conversations. Honest dialogue, especially around challenging topics, is vital for growth and mutual understanding. A man should approach these conversations with empathy, openness, and a willingness to listen, as these moments often bring clarity and strengthen the connection. By facing challenges head-on rather than skirting around them, he communicates that he values the relationship enough to address even the uncomfortable parts. This level of honesty fosters trust and creates a partnership where both individuals feel they can voice their concerns without fear. Equally important is for a man to avoid becoming too focused on achievements or milestones at the expense of emotional connection. While celebrating accomplishments is meaningful, true fulfillment in a relationship comes from the everyday moments that build intimacy and closeness. A man should take the time to appreciate the journey, focusing on being present rather than solely on reaching goals. This mindfulness ensures that the relationship remains balanced, with emotional intimacy prioritized alongside shared ambitions, resulting in a partnership that is both meaningful and enduring. Another valuable habit is for a man to actively encourage his partner's passions and pursuits, even if they differ from his own. Supporting her individual interests demonstrates a commitment to her personal happiness and growth. By celebrating her passions and offering genuine support, he shows that he values her as a whole person, beyond her role in the relationship. This encouragement not only fosters a sense of freedom and individuality, but also strengthens the bond by creating a relationship built on respect for each other's unique paths and aspirations. It's also essential to avoid the tendency to downplay or ignore his own emotional needs. While being supportive of his partner is crucial, a man should also recognize that his feelings and needs are equally important. By acknowledging his own emotional landscape and communicating openly, he sets an example of self-respect and honesty. This approach encourages both partners to address their needs openly, creating a balanced relationship where each person feels valued, understood, and supported. Honoring his own needs contributes to the relationship's health, allowing him to be a stable and caring partner. Additionally, a man should resist letting his partner's opinions become his sole perspective. While her insights are valuable, maintaining his own sense of self is important for a healthy relationship. A balanced partnership is one where both individuals feel empowered to bring their own ideas, values, and perspectives to the table. By staying true to his own beliefs while remaining open to hers, he contributes to a dynamic of mutual respect. This approach fosters a relationship where both partners feel they can be authentic, creating a healthy balance of individuality and togetherness. Lastly, a man should embrace the importance of humor and lightheartedness. In relationships, joy and laughter create a sense of playfulness that helps both individuals navigate life's challenges with ease. Finding humor in daily life, sharing jokes, and allowing space for lightheartedness can make even the tough times feel more manageable. This playful approach brings levity and keeps the relationship vibrant, reminding both partners that while life can be serious, love can be light and joyful. When a man values humor as part of the relationship, he helps build a partnership that is not only supportive, but also genuinely enjoyable. In embracing these principles, a man creates a relationship that is deeply fulfilling, built on respect, trust, and shared joy. Each practice, from cultivating humility to encouraging laughter, strengthens the bond, creating a partnership that grows more meaningful with time. Together, he and his partner build a love that is not only enduring, but filled with compassion, shared purpose, and authentic happiness. This mindful approach fosters a relationship that stands as a testament to their commitment, a source of strength and joy that enriches their lives in profound and lasting ways. A man should resist the urge to project his own fears or anxieties onto the relationship. Unchecked insecurities can lead to unnecessary conflicts and create a sense of instability. Instead, he should work on understanding and addressing his own concerns through self-reflection and, when necessary, open communication. By dealing with his insecurities constructively, he maintains a healthy relationship dynamic where both partners feel grounded and secure. In addition to these practices, a man should strive to cultivate a spirit of resilience and perseverance within the relationship. Every partnership encounters moments of adversity, and the ability to face these challenges with resolve and determination is invaluable. Rather than seeing obstacles as setbacks, a man can choose to view them as opportunities for growth, both individually and as a couple. By embracing resilience, he demonstrates a commitment to weathering life's storms together, showing that he values the relationship deeply and is willing to invest in its longevity. This approach creates a foundation of mutual trust, as both partners know they can rely on each other even in the toughest times. A man should also avoid overlooking the importance of shared purpose. Relationships thrive when both individuals feel that they're working towards something meaningful together, whether it's building a family, pursuing personal goals in tandem, or supporting a shared cause. By identifying common aspirations and taking active steps toward them, a man strengthens the sense of unity and direction within the relationship. Shared purpose fosters a sense of teamwork, where each partner feels they're not only building a life with each other, but also actively creating a legacy together. Another crucial aspect is avoiding resistance to vulnerability in the face of affection. Being able to openly express love and affection without hesitation can be transformative in a relationship. Sometimes people hesitate to express their deepest emotions out of fear of rejection or vulnerability, yet showing affection, both physical and emotional, allows the relationship to flourish. A man who expresses his love freely, whether through words, gestures, or actions, communicates his commitment to the relationship. This openness creates a bond that feels genuine and secure, making both partners feel valued and appreciated. It's equally essential to avoid the tendency to seek control over the relationship's direction and pace. Allowing the relationship to unfold naturally without forcing a specific outcome or timeline creates a sense of freedom and acceptance. When a man approaches the relationship with flexibility, he nurtures a relaxed environment where both partners feel comfortable being themselves. Trusting the process and letting go of control fosters a natural, organic connection where both individuals feel free to grow, learn, and discover together, creating a bond based on authenticity rather than external pressures. A man should also resist the urge to underestimate the power of emotional intelligence in the relationship. Emotional intelligence involves understanding not only his own emotions, but also being attuned to his partner's feelings. By developing empathy, active listening, and self-awareness, he becomes a more thoughtful and supportive partner. Emotional intelligence helps him recognize moments when his partner might need extra support or understanding, allowing him to respond with kindness and patience. This skill strengthens communication and brings emotional depth to the relationship, creating a space where both individuals feel truly understood and valued. Furthermore, a man should avoid being passive in expressing pride and admiration for his partner. Celebrating her achievements, talents, and qualities shows that he genuinely values her and takes joy in her success. This sense of pride isn't just about public displays. It can be as simple as privately sharing words of encouragement or acknowledging her efforts. When a man actively celebrates his partner, he fosters a sense of confidence and self-worth, making her feel seen and appreciated. This mutual admiration adds vibrancy to the relationship, creating a partnership filled with positivity and respect. Another key practice is to avoid neglecting emotional check-ins, especially during times of change or stress. Life brings various transitions, new careers, relocations, family developments, and these shifts can impact the dynamics of a relationship. Regularly checking in with his partner about how she's feeling and what she needs shows that he's attentive to the relationship's evolving needs. These conversations create an atmosphere of open communication, allowing both individuals to address any concerns or challenges proactively. By staying emotionally attuned, he strengthens the bond, ensuring that the relationship adapts healthily through each new phase of life. A man should also avoid becoming too comfortable in familiar routines to the point of stifling spontaneity. While routines bring stability, spontaneity adds excitement and surprise to the relationship, reminding both partners of the joy of discovery. planning unexpected adventures, trying new activities together, or simply breaking away from the usual routine can reignite the spark. Spontaneity keeps the relationship dynamic, encouraging both partners to see each other in fresh ways. By balancing routine with novelty, he creates a relationship that feels both secure and continually exciting, where both individuals are inspired to grow and explore together. Lastly, a man should remember the importance of practicing kindness, even in difficult times. It's easy to be kind when everything is going well, but true kindness shines when patience is tested. Whether it's during a disagreement, a stressful period, or a moment of frustration, maintaining a kind demeanor communicates a deep level of respect and care. By choosing kindness, he shows that he values the relationship above any temporary challenge or disagreement, reinforcing an atmosphere of love and understanding. This consistency in kindness creates a safe, nurturing space that both partners can always rely on. In committing to these values, a man builds a relationship that is not only strong, but deeply enriching. Each practice, from embracing resilience to expressing pride, staying spontaneous to practicing kindness, adds layers of meaning and connection to the relationship. Together, he and his partner create a bond that stands resilient through time, a partnership rooted in mutual growth, shared purpose, and unwavering support. Through this mindful and loving approach, they cultivate a legacy of love that endures, a relationship filled with joy, discovery, and the profound fulfillment that only a true partnership can bring. In approaching relationships with these practices, a man fosters a bond that is resilient, nurturing, and deeply fulfilling. Each mindful action, from valuing individuality to celebrating each other's successes, contributes to a partnership that is built on respect, empathy, and mutual growth. Through his commitment to these values, he doesn't just create a loving relationship. He builds a lasting legacy of compassion, integrity, and enduring joy, where both individuals can thrive together while maintaining their sense of self. In all these mindful practices, a man cultivates a relationship that is not only resilient and fulfilling, but one that continually grows in strength, understanding, and purpose. By approaching each day with intention, respect, and a commitment to mutual joy, he doesn't just create a loving partnership. He nurtures a lifelong journey filled with connection, growth, and enduring happiness. Each small choice becomes a brick in a foundation built to last, making the relationship a source of warmth, trust, and boundless potential. In cultivating these principles and avoiding common pitfalls, a man sets the stage for a deeply meaningful and resilient relationship, one rooted in respect, empathy, and shared growth. By practicing open communication, showing appreciation, and remaining adaptable, he builds a partnership that can withstand challenges and evolve through life's many phases. Ultimately, this commitment doesn't just strengthen the bond. It creates a lasting legacy of love, trust, and understanding that both partners can cherish. In cultivating these values and practices within a relationship, a man doesn't merely aim to sustain it. He seeks to build a partnership that is deeply fulfilling, resilient, and transformative. Relationships, especially those intended to last, are not simple or static. They are intricate, evolving landscapes where two individuals continuously grow together. By approaching the relationship with humility, empathy, patience, and a willingness to adapt, a man actively contributes to a foundation rooted in love, respect, and mutual support. Every thoughtful choice, whether it's allowing room for vulnerability, embracing spontaneity, or celebrating each other's individuality, adds depth and strength to the relationship, fostering a bond that can withstand life's inevitable shifts and challenges. Such a partnership is created not only through grand gestures or fleeting moments of passion, but through the daily intentional acts of kindness and understanding that build trust over time. By remaining present, listening actively, and expressing genuine pride and admiration for his partner, a man affirms his commitment and value for the relationship every day. He acknowledges that true connection doesn't lie in perfection or a rigid adherence to societal expectations, but in accepting each other as they are, flaws, dreams, and all, and choosing each other over and over again. At the heart of this approach is the recognition that relationships require both shared purpose and the honoring of individuality. A successful relationship is a balance between unity and independence, where both individuals feel empowered to pursue their dreams while supporting each other's growth. By investing in shared goals, celebrating each other's achievements, and allowing for individual growth, a man fosters a partnership that feels expansive and inclusive, not confining. This mutual respect for each other's journey transforms the relationship into a space where both people can grow freely while still finding joy, security, and purpose together. Moreover, he understands the importance of emotional resilience and presence. Life will bring unexpected changes, challenges, and moments of difficulty, yet by embodying patience, emotional intelligence, and a spirit of forgiveness, he creates a safe haven for both partners. His willingness to address issues openly, communicate honestly, and support his partner through thick and thin shows that he values the relationship deeply. Even during moments of conflict or uncertainty, he chooses compassion and kindness, reminding both of them that the relationship is a source of strength, not stress. This commitment to resilience enables both partners to navigate life's complexities without fear, knowing they can rely on each other through every season. In this way, he actively builds a legacy of love, one that is enriched by shared laughter, spontaneous adventures, and the little everyday acts that show he cares. Whether it's creating traditions, planning moments of joy, or simply holding space for his partner's needs, he infuses the relationship with warmth and positivity. These intentional practices create a bond that isn't just about fulfilling a role, but about cherishing and honoring each other's presence in a meaningful way. Ultimately, by embracing these principles, a man contributes to a relationship that brings not only happiness, but also profound fulfillment. The partnership becomes a journey of discovery, growth, and mutual support, where both people feel free to be their authentic selves. Together, they create a relationship that stands as a testament to the power of love, grounded in respect, joy, and commitment. A love that grows richer with time, a source of strength and inspiration that touches every part of their lives. In committing to this path, a man nurtures a love that isn't bound by fleeting emotions or external expectations, but by the values they cultivate together. Through resilience, understanding, and continuous growth, he and his partner create a legacy that endures, a partnership that not only stands the test of time, but brings lasting joy, fulfillment, and shared purpose. And as they move through life hand in hand, they build a love story that is both a refuge and a celebration, a journey that enriches them both and leaves an impact that endures beyond them, a legacy of compassion, strength, and a profound commitment to one another. Thank you for watching. If you found these insights valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on creating fulfilling relationships and living with purpose. Together, let's continue the journey toward wisdom, balance, and lasting connection.